Welcome back to my channel, everybody. I am Mr. Man, and today I have a special guest with me. She goes by the name Oracle Phoenix, and she is someone who's been in my life for, I want to say, 30 years. And we were just chatting off camera. She was talking and reminiscing here with me, and she's like, "Man, you guys, I remember growing up over in the circle there, and you look nice and filled out now, and back then you were just so skinny and muck." but 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 we have a history together, and she's one of those friends of mine that we had separations in our life. I had done my own thing, she had done her own thing, and we somehow managed to come back together in this time out of the blue, and here we are. But she's been birthed and blessed with a gift where she can experience and see the future before that future present even happens. So today I just want to chat with her, just pick her mind, have fun, hang out, just the two of us like we did growing up, and we'll see where life leads at that point. How are you doing, Oracle?
Bless, bless. Gratitude. Thank you so much, Mr. Man. Thank you for having us. I said us because we come with a host of who we are, the essence of ourselves, our higher self as well as spirit. So thank you so much for including me in this beautiful space with everyone. And yeah, it has been an incredible journey. I feel truly humble and honored and grateful to just be here, to be a part of it, to share it, and just to be present, really, really present in this moment, to be fully aware and present. So gratitude, thank you.
All right. So just off camera, I brought up the whole. I figured there was a full moon on the 28th the other day, and I felt the energy. It was different. It was different energy. I was nervous and excited. Like both ends of the spectrum were just vibrating through me. It was this unreal energy. And as my wife and I were walking, I said, "Let's walk towards the moon today." Normally we come out of our house and walk one way, but this time I was like, "Let's just come out and walk this way here." And by the time we got around the block area and back home, there were these dark black clouds that had rolled in and just completely overtaken the entire sky. You saw one star, and that was it. One star, like it was black, like Wesley Snipes black.
Mm.
What did you feel?
Oh my goodness. So I I actually was reminded that there's something called biorhythms that we need to be aware of that, of our rhythm, our biometric rhythm cycles, especially in conjunction with the seasons, with the time of year. So me now, I have just been feeling like every little mundane task is climbing Mount Everest.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Almost like when somebody has a really bad flu without the flu symptoms, just weak. And I've been thinking, okay, maybe my what you call it supplemental levels, certain levels are depleted, and trying to increase those things health wise and take care of that. Be mindful. Okay, you can still get dehydrated when it's chilly. Maybe it's that. Stay more hydrated. The rest has been the sleep cycle rhythm, the circadian sleep cycle rhythm just went haywire. Like it was almost like a magnet that just went out of balance, just haywire. Not a magnet, but almost like a clock,
Mm-hmm.
most like a clock that just went and just discombobulated.
Mm-hmm.
And typically around this time, I was saying to a friend of mine earlier, I said, "Man, I don't know if it's age or what, but this autumn is hitting me hard."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And usually, when the seasons change, it'll take a while. The days get shorter. It'll take a while to acclimate to it. But I also stay very mindful and intuitive that as our biorhythm systems changes, we are more prone to the effects of the atmosphere, to what's going on astrologically, as well as what's going on in the astral plane, which is a spiritual plane that affects us. So I try to tune in. It's been a lot of deaths.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things that came to me even earlier before we came on. A dear friend of mine, her aunt transitioned. Um, she had been in hospice and then was transported to the hospital. She had transitioned Saturday, and and you know, we a couple of celebrities that transitioned
Mm-hmm.
recently, and then I found out from another cousin that suddenly someone that I knew earlier, not early but mid 2000s, um, suddenly heart attack and transitioned, and healthy man in his, I want to say 50s, and it was just sudden. There was nothing they could do, and I'm like, it was a lot. It's been a lot of deaths. There's been a lot of deaths this year,
Mm-hmm.
but what I noticed is there's been a lot of births because a lot of birthing days. I'm like, dang, Libras just dominated. I don't know what's going on. Libras just be running it. Libras and them Virgos, boy. Woo, Lord. And now we going into the Scorpio season. And so there's been a lot of birthdays, which means a lot of cycles, a lot of birth cycles and a lot of death cycles. So as an empath, as an intuitive, I feel that. And sometimes I have to take a step back and really reflect, okay, what am I processing? What's going on? What's being communicated? And what is it that I need to do to then get attuned so that I can serve and help if needed.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Like in terms of you or your the empathy within you, how it manifests itself. Because I consider myself an empath, and anybody else who knows me too views me as an empath. They call me a guardian. Essentially, I'm always there to help out in some shape, way, or form. But in terms of my connection, the way I see and view things, like I view things in color. Eventually, I can feel the connection with that person. Some people will call aura. You call it the what is it? There's chakra colors. I just say I see in colors. And the best way for me to describe it is just it's just a feeling I pick up, and it's not like someone can say, hey, you know, what colors do you see for me? And I'm gonna sit there and analyze you. It's not like that at all. It's something that happens organically, and it's just this intrinsic feeling I get, and that feeling I get inside me produces this color. Like if I'm really excited, I'll get like a nice vibrant red color, or if I'm extremely excited, it's like over into the white spectrum. It's like the vibration's just off the chart. And I feel that not for myself, but for like something or somebody else in the room that's connecting to me. If I feel it
Hmm.
just for myself though, if nobody else is around me, I have to find a way to like settle myself down, because I expel so much energy with that feeling of my own. And then the next day I'm just like monotone, just blah. I'm like, oh, you know, I don't know why I don't have any energy today. I expelled it all yesterday. That's why.
Ironically enough, you've always been that way. You've always been high energy. Um, you always had high energy, and it wasn't just because you were athletic. I wouldn't say were because you still are athletic, but you always exuberated high energy of joy, and just almost like, you know, when somebody. One of the things I remember real quickly is that when I would come to visit with the family, you'd be like right there, like super happy. And I'd be like, whatever day I was having would just melt away because that energy, that high vibratory energy, and I believe that's natural. And that comes from a place where, like you said, it's organic, but also connected to divine, connected to the universe, connected to source that emulates. And what that is when someone is vibrating that high in their energy, they're able to transmute and transmute it to others to help. And so they tap into that. They're able to feed from it. They're able to energize. They're able to heal. They're able to gain what they need to gain from that high vibrational energy. And it shows up in a spectrum of light because light and colors on the spectrum shows different levels of vibration as well. And then you're able to level off, which is good. That means that you drew so much that your cup was over full. So you drew so much from nature, from within, from source. Your cup was over full that you still have more than enough left. Whereas with some people, they'll be depleted and not know how to ground themselves and not how to cover themselves and protect themselves. So they'll just emulate such high vibration and high aura and light. And then people will just be like, oh my gosh, I'm so thirsty. I'm so depleted. And just, and this, they'll just be like, I'm asleep for 5 days. I'm done. I can't do nothing. So that's a very natural, good thing. And that's what aligns you into not just being who you are as an empath, but also a healer. A lot of Reiki masters would be more or less able to attune and um, get more detail into letting you know what it is that's happening there. Just based on my bit of research, it seems to me what is happening, not just with your auric energy light, but your vibration frequency. You're tapping into that. And if you're among nature all the time, you can't help it. Nature will feed that. It will release all that darker energy and feed you with all that high energy. And if a lot of people that are in need of that connect with you and they're around concrete all the time, or they're not getting as much as they need, they'll be like, oh, gimme, gimme, gimme. And you'd be like, sure, here's a couple of cups of sugar for you. So that's very good. That's a very good thing.
Yeah, I can only handle like a finite amount of that though. Like I give a lot of energy, and eventually it gets to a point where I'm like I just can't people anymore. But I want to
Yeah.
just pivot. I'm into finances and financial industry here, and my latest thing, not my latest thing, but I follow the cryptocurrency. I follow the financial realm and what's going on there. And you and I have been together but separated in regards to this. So I'm not too sure what you know, what you've seen, what you see or experience. But in terms of us ending October now, Halloween coming up, today is the 30th, Halloween's tomorrow, where typically rituals of sorts take place throughout this earth here by certain entities, and we end up in November, and November's usually an interesting month fiscally. What, like, I don't know, like what do you see for November or just ending of this year?
Well, first of all, the today for some people is considered the what do they call it again? All Saints. So it's the day before Halloween, and then you're moving into the first and the second, which is Day of the Dead. It's a season of commemoration of the ancestors and feeding the ancestry spirit, being basically paying homage to those that came before you. So it's a day. It is the next couple of days is not just a day, but a period of shift. So, besides what is being celebrated globally, there's also a shift within the planet and seasons that are changing. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but time has sped up again
Oh yeah.
to the ridiculous speed of just ridiculousness. Okay, it is like ooh, to the point where I'm just like, this is ridiculous. This is
Yeah,
just
but
madness.
I ran a
Yeah, like it was
marathon.
literally just October 1st.
We like 12 hours. Like I was just sitting down eating dinner before the call. And I'm like, how is it 7 o'clock already for me? 8 o'clock for you. I'm like, how is that? I just woke up.
Yeah.
Like at work, time goes slow. As soon as I
What
get
felt like
home,
a minute, yeah.
yeah.
What feels like a minute it actually is an hour and you're like, wait a minute. And it's just to basically come back to the fact that the planet is also an energy source. Everything is energy. So, what we are seeing in the physical is what is needed in this dense dimension for us to be able to experience in a third dimension so that we can experience our journey and be able to learn and transcend and become enlightened if that's our goal in this journey, physical journey. So, with that being said, In actuality, what's happened is that we are within an illusion, but a lot of us believe that the illusion is what's real.
Mm-hmm.
This is the realness. But when you talk to people that vibrate on a high level, in our studies we had just learned from um, our tutor and mentor that Stephen Hawkins had done a spectrum scale where he was, I can't remember what it's called, I have to look it up, but he was judging where Dr. Stephen Hawkins, he was judging where different people that have ascended and become very enlightened, where they fell on that scale, vibrating the average person, say 150. They're vibrating at 150. Whereas enlightened beings that he said are still here, but he didn't say who, are vibrating at 900 and beyond.
Wow.
Those that believe in the being that was here, called Jesus Christ, he said was vibrating at 100, which means it's almost like an enlightenment spectrum
Mm-hmm.
and the vibration frequencies that they're at. And so it's based on his research. He had produced a book on it, and that's why I said like nothing. Another beautiful enlightened being, Doctor Wayne Dyer,
Wayne Dyer, yes.
and Wayne Dyer, he had said nothing is without coincidence. We're all beautiful souls that chose to come back in this lesson, in this illusion, so that we can not only teach, but learn and transcend and enlighten. For those of us that choose to learn and choose to ascend and choose to become enlightened. So it's a choice, and it's not something that's happenstance. So, with that said, those that are attuned, those that are empathic and attuned, those that are vibrating at a high frequency and are able to attune to nature and what's happening in the global spectrum and universal, none of this is surprising. So, a lot of what's happening, time speeding up, we're like, well, time is really something that's man made. There is no time that really exists outside of this illusionment structure. So what we're actually sensing is we're sensing a shift because the planet and the universe is actually shifting from a fourth dimension into a fifth dimension. You hear the song The Age of Aquarius
Mm-hmm.
and how we have shifted from Pisces to Aquarius?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're actually feeling. And so it feels to us in this third dimension, it feels to us that, oh my gosh, time is speeding up. Oh my gosh, this is happening. This is happening. I sense it. I feel it. Or I'm getting visions or I'm dreaming this and whatnot. What it is that your higher self is already at fifth, sixth, seventh dimension, eighth dimension, millions and millions of years ahead of us. And your higher self is communicating to you that you are operating in a time that is here now present, but it's also the you millions of years ago and the you millions of years ahead
Mm-hmm.
for those souls that have experienced that, right? So it's basically like I said to you earlier, it's about learning to be present in the present now. That's going to be the very key thing, is to not get caught up in the illusionment of what's happened, but to be very present and know how to operate within the system that we are, within the physical density system that we are.
It's interesting that you say to be present because I feel at this present time, like moments ago, months ago, and to where I am right now as we sit and chat, when you say to be present, I feel I have a difficult time with that because I have a hard time grasping time because time goes really, really quickly, as you were saying. And to be present now, in terms of this moment, with what I'm doing, what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing, what I'm smelling, who I'm with, who I'm interacting with, I have a difficult time with that because I feel like this thing takes up my time, and just being on it to stay tapped in. Like it's interesting because I choose to go into the matrix to learn, to get the information, and then I can pull myself back out of it, but I tend to be in there to try and get as much information that I can now that I know that it's the matrix, you know? And then
Yeah.
because not, I'm not gonna say I enjoy being in there, but I enjoy the learning of what I'm learning and where it's taking me in my life and how it's taking me there and what my intentions are for myself and my family and others. I want to make sure I can get every little nugget that I can find. So in terms of my life outside of this, like I feel like it's going too quickly.
So one of the things that you do practice already and know about is mindfulness,
Mm-hmm.
grounding, and you are an avid athlete. I'm not gonna say what you do because I don't know what you disclosed, but you do something that is for you on a regular. Let's just put that helps you, that's
Mm-hmm.
healthy, right? So it's athletic. So in those moments, that's when you utilize. Remember, you vibrate at a high frequency level. For some people, sitting down and umming and meditating
Mm-hmm.
may not always be what the starting point for them. There's walking meditations. There's other types of meditations. People go swimming. People do different things. So when you are in that form and space, and that's your sanctuary, your sanctum, utilize that opportunity to then refocus yourself back, center, refocus and center yourself. Another thing quickly is breathing techniques.
Mm-hmm.
So those techniques will also just keep you stable, keep you grounded, and just attune. And when you do that, visualize that you are just attuning into a space that is your happy space, right? And so that will just help you to attune and just help you to connect and just help you to stabilize. That's all it is that we are doing. And so it's we all need it. We all connect with it. Technology, each other, life, everything. Before you're asking for 3 more hours in the day, 12 more hours in a day. It's done. We all get the same 24 hours. So it's being able to now utilize that time and be more, I would say, I don't want to say necessarily selfish, but be more precise and decisive and deliberate about making sure. For me, it's at the crack of dawn. I find that's the sweetest time now when I can, and I hate when I oversleep now. But it took a minute for my body to acclimate and say, well, yeah, we like this, we can do this. But I felt like my spirit, my soul is just greeting the day. It's just the most beautiful. And I remember I used to do that as a child, greet the day like that. And when I was very, very young, and the rooster is waking you up, and nature, natural nature is waking you up, it's absolutely beautiful. So, whatever time and space that you have to work in, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, even when you're driving, stay focused, but at the same time, do a quick mindful check in with yourself. How are you doing? Connect with yourself.
What do you see, and what kind of energy do you feel for like end of this year into next year? Because I feel like it's gonna be live, like it's gonna be lit, just like nothing anybody's experienced before, like next level.
It's always lit. I'm telling you right now, it's so past lit that I'm just like, I'm already prepping what's gonna come afterwards. There's always the hoopla, there's always the excitement of what's in your face. I always look to what's beyond that. What's the next step and the next step? So I'm probably already a couple years looking ahead as to what to prepare for. And I think I've asked for that because I don't really handle change that well, that quickly like that. I think I like things to kind of make sense. And so when you're able to connect with the astral plane and you're able to connect and see that no matter how, because I'm a number 5 numerology person, which means, also as an empath, I need to know there's some kind of hope at the end. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, give me something to hold on to.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
we
yeah,
gonna make it, right? We gonna
yeah.
make it, right? No matter what we go. So what I get shown a lot of the times is no matter what is going to come, no matter what has come, there's always going to be. a solution. There's always, and I literally will wake up. My husband said, I'm mumbling now. He's like, he's there with a pen and paper. He's trying to write down. What did you say? Say it out loud. Because he's like, the other night you were mumbling, and it's like you wanted to say it. You were tossing and turning and whatnot. So I start to document when I get up, and if I can remember or can't remember, I ask for it to be brought back to my consciousness. But I would say this: there's a lot that I can share, and there's a lot that I'm mindful of sharing. But I can say this: um, there will always be a solution, and there are things that we're being shown now that nothing is a coincidence. So I will give you an example. It's going to sound a little bit out there, but it's not because the technology is already there, believe it or not. Quantum physics.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we know about quantum physics. Then there's the quantum realm. Those of you who heard about the
Mm-hmm.
quantum realm is real. Real thing. So one of the things I was shown, I don't know if you remember this. Some of y'all may have to Google this. It's a movie way back when called Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You remember that movie?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So if those that don't know that movie, then try to remember or look up Ant Man. And there's a recent one that came out with Ant Man: The Quantum Universe, I believe it's called. For some reason, that movie just kept knocking me out, put me to sleep. I don't know why. It was just knocking me into a meditative state and knocking me into something. But there's always a solution. So one of the things I'll tell my husband every now and then, I get them zombie movies or them not zombie movies, them zombie dreams. Okay,
You get that legit?
I say the oh my gosh, whew, Lord, those are the ones I really don't care for because it's different. So this one, it started out California,
Of
and it was
course.
so bad.
Of course.
California.
Jeez.
It was so bad. It was like watching a black shadow just take over that entire state. It was like a wave, and it was all people, right? There was no reverse. There was no stopping it. There was no solution. They were so powerful they could run through steel, run through brick, run through buildings like a wave.
The
So there
zombie
was no
people?
structure. Yes,
Oh.
so there was no structure. There was no building. I was there. People was trying to shelter in those big steel type of like what used to be like a stadium or gymnasium. They was just running through the walls, just running through nonstop. But it's not like what they were. It was almost like it's not like the movie. It's not gory and it wasn't bloody or anything. It was just watching a horde of ants, but in human form, just like run like a wave and take over and just move as like one force. And the goal was if they get to you just by touching you. Don't have to bite you, nothing. Touch you, you on it too. You gone. So then I'm there observing all of this happening, but they're not seeing me because I guess I'm like not there, but I'm in observation spirit mode or whatever mode I'm in. And then I'm like, there has to be a solution. What's the solution? So this being shows up. I swear to you, it looked like a big gazoo. Do you remember gazoo?
I remember the name, but I don't remember what it is.
The Jetsons,
Oh, the
the
guy in the little
cartoon.
spaceship there? Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It was like a gigantic gazoo, but it wasn't gazoo like the green. It was like a person in gazoo's suit.
yeah.
Okay, the suit that gazoo had, right? So it was like this being, and it looked like human form, but just huge. And said to me, he gave me this device, and it just looked like this little device that if you guys watch that show called Quantum Leap, and it's where it's almost like back in the day, and it was just like a clear remote, and it had all these things. And he gave me a device, and it's like, this is what's gonna save everybody. It's gonna help. And I said, what do you mean help and save? He goes, there's no stopping it. There's no stopping it. There's no reversing it. However, for those that need to continue on, there is a way to continue on, but you're just going to have to continue on the quantum realm in quantum form. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So then he pressed the button and we all shrunk. And we was really about the size of ants. And we shrunk. And we literally was there and everybody was running straight past us. They didn't even notice. So they didn't notice us if you're in ant form. They didn't care. And then I'm noticing this whole other world. People were in their cars. They were living it up because now you can live microscopically. So you don't need things in huge form. So you can really live it up. And they were living it up like it was Harlem in the 30s. It was crazy. And I was like, you all know what's going on still. They're like, yeah. But because we're in this form, it doesn't affect us. And I remember I got up and I documented the dream and I was like, what the heck? What the heck is like? I'm like, I can't even tell people this stuff. This is madness. What is this? Y'all can't be showing me this stuff. And then that's just to give you an idea. I get things like that where it shows you no matter what is coming, no matter what's going to happen, the solution's already here. It's not like we're going to be giving more of a solution or technology, but for those that, um, for those that are here to continue on, and to survive and to keep the population and to keep that purpose of who we are going. Hold on. Basically, it's just to show that no matter what, that there will always be a way. There will always be a solution. There will always be a gift given and shown to those that people would think are not the elite, those that are a part of, I call them like the purpose group. Those are supposed to carry on. And this has happened for dawn of time. This is not just now, right? That it's happening. To us, it looks like crazy now. But if we were to go back in time and see the madness that our ancestors and other people went through, they didn't have technology to look and show and tell each other. It was madness. For generations and generations, the world's been ending. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And in that form, what we're sensing now is a shift. The shift is not necessarily a bad thing, it's a good thing. Because within the good thing that's coming, just like I was talking about cycles, when there's a death, there's a birth. So what we're feeling and sensing and moving through is that death period, and literally within these next couple of days, acknowledging it for those that do, and then moving into a dawning, moving into a birthing period. And so the key thing is to stay conscious, stay attuned, keep your vibrations up, and know that it's going to be okay no matter what. We're eternal beings. We're just an earth form. This is just one of our millions of forms, right? So what we have here to hold on to is really not what's real. What it's just pull back the curtain, pull back what do you call it there from Wizard of Oz, pull back the wizard curtain and be able to attune through meditation and mindfulness, mainly meditation, um, be able to attune and see what is really going on behind the curtain.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of what's going on behind the curtain has been a continuum of what's been going on for a while, not just in our dimensions, but in other dimensions. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, okay, was that this dimension? Was this the future? Was it? And I just sit with it. I don't even tell nobody for days. I don't say nothing. I don't say nothing to my husband. I just document right down because I'm just like, then I go into meditation and attunement about it and I ask questions. And those answers come. The key thing about it is that what we need to focus on is how to move and navigate. A lot of it is we're going to have to learn how to move like spiritual being ninjas,
That's true.
be able
That's
to
true. Yeah.
maneuver. People are going to wonder how you knew how to move like that. How you 10 steps and paces ahead. How
Yeah.
you knew how to intuitively buy this, buy that, do this. It's outside of just quote unquote prepping. it's about knowing how to also operate and move while still in the system, while still functioning in the day to day, and still preparing. One of our mentors say, "I don't get scared. I stay prepared." And he's very very spiritual, right? And he says we have to. It's just common sense. He's like, I don't gotta be no oracle or nothing. It's just common sense. So I say all that to say what's coming is not of what is the importance. The what's coming is gonna come regardless. To
Mm-hmm.
tell you what's coming, what's that gonna do? Make you more scared and less prepared, or get you more prepared, or put you in a panic? The purpose of me being here and even being shown things is to still illuminate the light that regardless of what's coming, there's always going to be hope. There's always going to be a way. Like I love Mandalorian, right? And the Mandalorians um, cult, they have a saying that says, "This is the way," right?
Yes.
So this is outside of the Mandalorians from Mandalore, but the other ones. And so they say, I forgot what they're called, but they say they have a saying that says, "This is the way." Well, there are those of us that are going to be able to show the way, but we can't necessarily give it now because even for us, we're not being shown because there are those that hunt people like us. Believe it or not, if you are a person that you are saying, "Hey, I know how to attune spiritually and do this, and that," don't be surprised. Knock on the door, and ain't nobody gonna see you again.
It's coming. It's coming.
No,
It's coming. Like if not already here.
that's why you gotta be move. Yeah, move like you gotta move like real smooth and
Mm-hmm.
move like a wizard. So a lot of things. That's why I said I can share but not share, and a lot of it is not because of what I'm showing or what I can see. A lot of it is just having that internal sense of feeling of knowing. It's almost like it's just knowing certain things um, will be are going to come, but how to be prepared
Mm-hmm.
and to know how to move beyond that. Um, it's like when people prepare for, as they go through birth, they have a doula or they may have a birthing coach. They prepare for that. The same thing if they have time to prepare for their passing. They have a death doula. They prepare for that. It's a preparation, and it's what we do with the preparation that's important. Because what's gonna come is gonna come and pass. Just as quick as it comes, it's gonna pass, and then be like, but. There's some people that's just gonna get hung up on it and stuck there, and then there are those of us that's gonna have to dip and dodge and move and move and know how to move through very quickly
Mm-hmm.
to get to
Mm-hmm.
the other side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
hmm
straight facts right there.
When it
Straight
comes to
facts.
finances, when it comes to finances, um, since it's something that is spoken on this platform, the one thing I can say is that you being intuitive, you being an empath, you doing what you're doing with the intent, not for self purpose only, but to to benefit self and others, right? It means that when you do your research and when you give suggestions and even the way how you put key things together, um, you're being guided to do that. And that's part of your purpose for being here. So when others listen and they're able to follow and they're able to do what they need to do and prepare, that in itself is in itself its own prophecy, so to speak. That's its own solution. That is one thing because there is nothing that is really ominous. It is very, very clear. It's very clear. And those that are being led intuitively to do things, that's where we look and see the now, what's happening. So what's to come is like, oh, okay, been there, like we've seen that already, or we've been through worse already, or we know how to move.
Mm-hmm.
We know who to move with, we know how to move, we're set, we're prepped, we're good to go. Yes, it might still be undaunting, but we were also shown this, and that's why there's so much emphasis now. You will see galactically on attunement and mindfulness and meditation. A lot of it is because communications. One of the things that is going to be needed is telepathic communications,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to connect with each other telepathically, to be able to speak to each other without technology or anything else. It's something that is ancient and has been practiced. I always joke and I say sometimes people ring up the phone line. So I'm like, yo, I need to get some sleep. And they be like having a whole conversation with me on the astral plane level and my subconscious level on that level. And I wake up and I'll be like, okay. And I'll call them like, what's up? Oh my goodness, I was just thinking about you, this and this and this and this and that and that and that. I'm like, I know. Okay. You know what I mean? Because it's like that is to show more so than anything how much we're interconnected, right? How much we're internet connected to one consciousness, how much we're interconnected to the nature and the beings and everything else here in one consciousness, and that consciousness which is within us. You don't have to believe it or not. It's just there. That's why you feel it, right? It's there. And so that's why we're able to sense things. That's why we're able to tune into things. And those people that um, practice on blocking, they declog, they clear out like calcification, they clear out, and they do certain practices to help. It can happen for anyone and everyone. For
So,
me, yeah.
so
Go
when
ahead.
you say, we have the ability to sense thing, are you talking like the first thing that comes to my mind is those birds or those fish that kind of flock and just move together. There's no communication that I'm aware of, but under the sea, at like not I don't even know the depth of it, but they all just move in complete harmony. And same with the birds, like just this big ball of birds, and they just somehow know where the other one's going, and they move in unison, lockstep, if you will. And it's just beautiful to look at. And I sit down, I stand there and just look at them like, how do you know what each other's doing? I'd be that one bird up there that they're all going like this, and I'm flying into somebody else, or like
It's sonar.
I
They're
don't get it.
communicating all right. We have some geese around here, Canadian geese, and boy, oh boy, do they like to yap. We also have a couple of the birds, and they have a leader, and they know what to do, and they trust him, and it's their nature, just like salmon. They follow, just like horses. The wild horses, they have a leader horse.
Mm-hmm.
Goats, they have a leader goat. And I learned recently, we were always told that it was the black goat that leads only, and then somebody told me recently, oh no, it could switch up. It could be the this goat one day, and then the other goat just decided I'm the leader today. Follow me, I'm the leader. And so nature doesn't really question because it's in tune with the cycle of the earth. And that's one of the indicators that you can tell things are happening that are not what they used to be or seem very different to us is by the way that nature is responding, because nature is a reciprocator to the natural force, to source, and to the shift that's going on. What I would say is that we operate in something that is known as currency. And currency is like the water, it's like ocean, it's energy, it's a waves. And during these next few days, one of the things we can do is, you can go on Amazon or online, buy ancestor money. It's just paper money, whatever currency suits you, and safely burn it. And then when you're doing that, just do a visual exercise of a loved one that transition. And what you're doing is you're actually feeding their astral energy, their astral self. A lot of people believe that, oh, you got to feed the ancestors, the ancient Egyptians. They wanted to be buried with all these different things and whatnot so that they can still ascend in astral plane self. And come to find out, yeah, because if you're an eternal being, you're still in school, you're still ascending. When you transition, it's not just poof and it's all gone and everything's done. You're still in school, you still have choices, you still have decisions. That's why we have guides That's why we have some ancestors that come back enlightened and say, I'm gonna help you this earth, with this earth journey that you're on. And so it's the same thing when you're dealing with the energy of currency and money, that we've been conditioned that it's a bad thing. Whereas Eastern philosophy, it's like, are you kidding me? They got the money tree, they got every kind of feng shui to bring in the energy of good luck and gold money and ancestor money and red and gold, and it's like an obsession. But what it is they understand the principle, and they understand the law of it, right? The general law and the principle of it. Whereas in the Western world, it's almost like you're taught to feel guilty, when in actuality, a part of your enhancement and your enlightenment is to be prosperous. Because again, how are you supposed to move like a ninja in these days if you ain't? And if the currency is what it is, what you gonna do? Go back to selling sticks and lemonade? Like seriously, it's just common sense. So one of the things I'm learning in what I'm studying, which is practical metaphysics, is that in order to say, okay, I'm spiritual, I'm spiritual, I am applying these laws and these principles. Well, guess what? Don't say it, be about it, and then produce it. It will produce. So, as you say affirmations, as you apply certain principle tunes, the result is coming to you, the doorway opening to you, people like yourself coming to people to teach them things. So these things you draw and attract to you. And prosperity is not just about money. Prosperity is also resources. Prosperity is also favor. There's times where you don't need the money to buy a truck. Somebody might say, you know what, man, I just had this dream, or I just felt like I needed to bless you with this brand new truck. I got five of them I don't need, or my daddy's a dealer, or just he has a dealership, and we just felt like we. So it's not just about actual money, but it's resource and accessing it, which we have the power to do in the fourth dimension, fifth dimension, and bring it to us. So I'm still learning to apply that because I'm unprogramming the belief of, ooh, you're supposed to suffer and live a life of piety, and, you know, it's fine. Some people choose it, and that's okay. All
Mm-hmm.
paths to enlightenment is all paths to enlightenment. But what I'm doing is just tying in some of the principles that I learned with regards to finance and prosperity, is that there are those that are called to understand it, that they take to it like duck to water, like yourself. You've always been a numbers person, took to it like duck to water, and then there are those like kind of myself where I would be like, yeah, that's interesting. Just tell me what button to press, what I need to do, what button to press. It's done, and that's where the links are. And I think it is important for us to not be shy to say it's okay. It's okay to understand what's happening in the economic world. It is actually mandatory to do so. It is actually responsible spiritual being to do so. Because why? It's still energy, and it's still going to affect us one way or another.
Mm-hmm. I agree with
I
that.
hope I'm making some kind of sense, because
You're,
I'm trying to summarize so much in my
you're,
mind.
no, you're making a lot of sense here, and I appreciate the time and the energy you put into this segment this evening. I'm not going to stay on too long. I do appreciate this. My internet keeps giving me signals that I'm not sure if you're saying something or it's freezing up or what's going on. This
Oh
hasn't
wow.
happened before, but I got a pop up from Google saying that
Yeah,
your
it froze.
internet's
It
weak.
froze a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it froze a little bit. You see, when you start, this is the other thing I found. You start saying certain things, whether you live recording or not. Boy, they mess with you. It's
Yeah,
like glitch,
yeah. It's
glitch.
interesting that you say that. Like I haven't experienced this before, except for now. And it's like, huh, this is interesting. This is very very interesting.
Yeah. the other thing that's interesting is when you get people that are high frequency beings, um, technology glitches all the time. It's like it happens all the time. Like my husband, if he was on here, everything probably would just went black out.
Smooth.
You know what I mean? Like just people like, what happened? Yeah, he's very magnetic. So with him and technology, like he'll just walk past something and it'll glitch. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, and he said it's so funny. It runs in his family. People can't wear watches. It's always glitching, stopping, things like that. And it's just your energy and your magnetism, your electricity, right? So it affects the technology. Technology in itself is energy. People don't realize that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Pull
they
together.
talking about all these AIs and stuff and these self-aware AIs. Oh no, technology been an energy because energies can attach to anything. Energy beings can attach to anything, but technology in itself is an energy source because every ingredient that comes from this planet, this universe, is energy. So anything that went into anything to make anything, the gold that's in the cell phone, that's energy source, right? The titanium, anything that wanted to make. So it's an energy source. And so it responds accordingly. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad we did have the time to connect and talk. Um, just, what I want to reiterate real quickly from my notes here is that prosperity financially and spirituality goes hand in hand. um, Many don't understand that means resource. So I was saying that before, and money currency of today, it's meant to flow. It's not meant to just be stagnant. It's meant to flow. And this is what you're teaching us how to understand is the currency. It's basically teaching us how to be surfers in a world where a lot of people is has been conditioned to be afraid of. So set your intent. Let your intent when it comes to the purpose of what resource and money is for. Set your intent so that your intent and your purpose align so that you are then allowing it to flow and it's flowing for your benefit and the benefit of others. And that's when you would see the affluence. That's when you would see real prosperity because it's not just about having as much as you can. It's really about um, that ripple effect. That's eternal. That's a ripple effect that goes on and on and on. You can't cut it, you can't steal it, you can't take away. Like you just like how this person just never is like they just always everything. You know how to say everything you touch is gold. You can try to shut them down, you can't. So that and also diversify and have multiple streams of income. I'm learning to do. So I'm so grateful and thankful to you. I'm so humble because I've seen your development and growth in this area and so proud and so happy because I know that you would question, what can I do? How can I serve? Like, I don't see myself as just like, going into the wilderness with a bear skin and sitting there into a sweat lodge and coming out with medicine bag herbs and what am I gonna do? To find your call to be brought into your calling. I can't even say find your calling because your calling was always there. I think to just attune to it, I say salute, sir, because it's just been beautiful to see to get peaks of it. To you and your beautiful partner because it's a partnership, right? And
Absolutely.
it's to see both of you move beautifully in that partnership and flow. So I only hope that I can learn and be able to apply continuously. But I'm truly grateful for that. Just remember, y'all, we're all spiritual beings. I'm not no super uber duper special person. I just answered the call. That's all. I
That's
can
it.
just answer the call and
Yeah.
say, I'm gonna help. I'm gonna do I'm gonna try to do my part and help. And that's it. We all have the capability and ability to ascend in the physical form and to become enlightened beings as well and mystics. You know. So
Thank you. And
yeah.
you're right. That's all we can do in the end is just be ourselves, let our inner light shine through, and just, have your eyes and your ears open. More your ears and your heart, actually, as well. Because when that frequency and message hits you, just, it's not like I sit around like, okay, what am I going to do? No, I know what I'm here to do, and that's to find information and research. And for whatever reason, I've been given a talent to do it. And that's what I do.
Yes.
So I appreciate your time.
Exactly.
I appreciate your mind. I appreciate your heart. I
Yes.
appreciate the words that you were able to project for us on screen today. I hope you guys that are watching this enjoyed my really good friend here, family friend here, Oracle Phoenix, and maybe we'll have you back on the show again and just catch up and.
Sure. Oh yeah, that would be great. I would appreciate that so much. And I'm not really, even though we're using technology right now, um, a lot of what I do right now, I'm in study mode. I'm in myself, also in soaking up mode, learning mode, study mode, so that I can then be able to pour out and do the spiritual work as well. So sometimes, even folks like myself, we're not always online. I struggle with that. I know I have to increase my continuum online presence, but I am there. Um, if you, if anybody wants to connect, that's I'm open to that as well. I do offer guided sessions, so I call them spiritual guided sessions
Do you have a platform
to
that you
assist you
use, like
into your
an
soul
email?
purpose journey. Well, so Oracle Phoenix Guide is Instagram. So at Oracle Phoenix Guide, so I'm on Instagram. Facebook is Oracle Phoenix Guide. I'm not using Twitter a lot lately. I don't have a lot on YouTube, but it's Oracle Phoenix Guide. The best way, which is like that makes me feel a little old school now, is you can email me, oraclephoenixguide at gmail.com. And I actually check that more than anything else. And so oraclephoenixguide at gmail.com if you want to connect and discuss further your purpose journey and soul journey and how you fit into this big conglomerate we call the cosmos.
Perfect. So I'll leave those contacts down below for
Okay.
you guys in the information portion of this video here. Please don't hesitate to
Mm-hmm.
reach out. I'm sure she'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Oracle, I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate your
And set your
time.
intent. You're welcome. Set your intent. Write your intent. See, one thing with this person being Mr. Man that y'all don't know, he did that. He didn't just pop up and did the work. He set his intent and he wrote it down and he set his vision forward. So everything that you see manifest from that you're seeing here is because he set his intent. And when he shared his intent with me, I was like, "You on it?" I was actually a little bit more excited than that, screaming and yelling and whatever, because it was like he was excited, and I was like, "That's it, you're on it." And so after that, it was like I can't even keep up now. I'm just like, huh, like off to the races, and that's what it is because passion equates to purpose,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not going to be always easy. But that's where we show gratitude to beings like yourself for taking up the cause, because not all of us um, can process it like that, even though we can learn, we cannot process it like that or take the time or have the time to do that. And so that's where I give you your flowers and gratitude.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And same
You're
for yourself
welcome.
too. Like you've been this guiding light since we've had the opportunity to connect again. And when we've chatted infrequently and I got to show you around the apartment in Dryden, it's been really wonderful connecting with you again, just to feel your energy and see the smile. Look at those cheeks. It's just
Oh
been
my
really nice
God.
to catch up again.
Yes, we do. It's always a joy. And thank you so much. I said nothing but peace and love and gratitude to y'all. And we definitely got to do it again. We got to
Absolutely.
do it again and connect.
Stay on the
Stay
line. I'm
connected.
gonna come off the thing right now. Good night.
Okay, okay.